2014, I had my firstborn son, and 2 months later, I found out I had a tumor in my heart. And after that, I had to get surgeries. I had to do a VATS, video-assisted thoracic surgery, and around Christmas 2014, they confirmed that it was cancer. And so after that, you know, a lot of things changed for me. I ended up getting depression, anxiety. My whole life changed. Basically, all the plans, I used to love dancing. I completely stopped dancing. I basically didn't have anything that I liked anymore at that point. When you have different things going on mentally, physically, all you think about is that 24/7. I have anxiety, I can't sleep. But when it's time to shoot, I'm focused on that sport in particular. You know, I don't hear anything. I'm able to focus. You know, the coaches are there to support you, even the teammates. You know, they understand everything that you're going through. And so when that happened and I was able to just focus and relax, I was like, wow, this is very helpful. And I feel like I really had time to myself, because on an everyday basis, I really don't feel like I have that time. To me, I really feel like it's an honor to represent the Navy, because so many people have tried out and wanted to be here. And me personally, I really didn't think I could make it this far, but it shows no matter what you can do, you know, no matter what you think you can't do, you can really do it if you put your mind to it. And so competing at the Warrior Games means everything to me, like everything, really.
September 2015, I was unloading a truck for a command event, and I slipped and shattered my leg. I had a trimolar fracture dislocation in my right leg. Didn't get into the emergency surgery that I was supposed to. Permanent nerve damage, developed CRPS. Did about 2 years of limb salvage and nothing was working. We tried everything medically possible. For a while, I fought it. I didn't feel like I deserved to be here. You know, individuals that were shot at, blown up, you know, had traumatic, you know, wartime injuries. You know, I always thought the program was for them. And I fought it for a while until Megan McAllister, actually from Navy Wounded Warrior Safe Harbor, came out for a site visit and talked to me into it, and then thought I'd give it a chance, and I'm very happy I did. I'm excited and looking forward to the Warrior Games, because it's going to be amazing to see all the individuals that have been through life-changing experiences and see them compete. I mean, just at the Navy camps, you really truly see how, yeah, it's a competition and everyone trying to make the Navy team for trials, for example, but everyone just wants everyone to do their best, you know, and we're each other's sounding board. So I'm definitely excited to meet new people, hear new stories. It's very therapeutic to talk to other individuals. And of course, I'm very excited to compete.
It was around Christmas, say it was like the beginning of January 2014, actually it was. My sister had come down with her boyfriend at the time, and I didn't like him. And they brought some alcohol that they thought they'd surprise me with, and I don't really drink. I never really did drink, and here I am. I'm plastered, and then all the devils come out, and that's where it started. And then I was having nightmares before that. I was having bad dreams before that, and they've gotten worse over the years, and more bad things have happened. But I've kind of tried to keep it hidden, because it's like the thing to do. And I watched friends pass away, watched friends commit suicide, and just like having to see that, and it impacts me like all that much more. And eventually I just started to get help for it. Once I actually got seen at Wounded Warrior Battalion for PTSD, other things started popping up, like my body was breaking down. And I knew I had injuries, I knew I had problems, but I didn't realize the seriousness. Yeah, I fought it. I did what Marines do, we fight. And I was fighting it, but I was also fighting and getting help. Help was offered at one point, and I tried, and I couldn't follow through with it. I had too much of a job, too many people to care about. And a lot of Marines fall in the same aspect. They fall into that same category. My first time being behind the rifle, I was skeptical. I was like, I got this. I've shot good before in the Marine Corps. I've shot big rifles, whatever. And I shot these air rifles, and I'm like, man, I need to calm down. I started calming down to the point where I could see my heartbeat in the target. I could see my breath. I could see everything. I could see the pellet leaving the barrel now. So when you get to that point, I guess it's like a zen. And made me forget that I even, like I had a head, like if I went there with a headache, I wouldn't have one when I left. It's a different type of relaxation. You gotta relax more of your body than your mind. And it's so much harder to do that. Especially like with physical injuries, it's way harder to do that. So it's helped me get away from all the pain. Being here at the 2018 DoD Warrior Games, it means a lot to represent the Marine Corps, because there's plenty of Marines that wanted to be here and wish they could be here, and a lot of them don't know about it. So to be here and give them that experience and to go back and tell them how good it was, it's a thrill, because then they get amped up and they want to do it the next year. I've got Marines that are talking to me from the trials this year that can't wait to be here next year.
I guess it's those different stages of grief, you know, the shock, the denial, and then the acceptance. And, you know, I think I've gotten over those initial steps, and now I just focus on where I could be and overcoming these injuries, these ailments. So, I mean, it gives me a new sense of purpose, a new sense of drive. I wake up, I go to the gym, and mentally I'm role-playing what's going to happen here at the Warrior Games. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think the Warrior Games matter because overall, I think it demonstrates the never quit, the always keep fighting on spirit of our military, and the fact that we're going to overcome, and we're going to keep fighting to the bitter end. And this is just another form of it. You know, there's all kind of competitors out here. You'll see guys with different type of injuries and ailments, and they're not quitting. You know, they're not going to lay down there. They're never going to stop fighting. I like to go and listen to these guys and be there to support them, but at the same time, they're there to support me too. So I like being around them and giving back, but at the same time, I know there's brothers out there that understand me, that has traveled the same path that I have, and they understand the same language that I'm speaking.
So I actually was injured here 8 years ago at Buckley Air Force Base. I played softball at the Air Force, was running to first base in 2010, and I suffered a tib-fib plateau closed fracture, which led to about 4.5 years of limb salvage, and I elected in October 14 to become an above-the-knee amputee. For me, I was always an athlete, so that was the biggest problem I had when I became injured, was that being taken away. And then a friend of mine, Sebastiano Lopez, who competed for the 2016 Air Force team at the West Point Academy, she's the one that kind of pulled me into the program for the Eglin introductory camp. And ever since then, I've been a part of this family. And then I was able to have the privilege of competing with the Air Force for the 2017 Warrior Games. And then this year as well, I get to continue with that family. Representing the Air Force at the Warrior Games allows me not only to still feel like I'm part of that family, because after the injury, you tend to feel as though you've been kind of discarded from the service. You lost that camaraderie, you lost that sister and that brotherhood. And then coming to these types of games, it allows that person to really gain a purpose in life again and to feel like they're still part of that Air Force family, just in a different aspect. And the Warrior Games allows each member from each branch to continue having that hope, that courage, the competitive streak, the determination to really keep pushing through life, to not let that battle win and to succeed. Because hope is the biggest thing that drives us to continue finding a purpose in life.
February 26th of 2006, I was in a motor vehicle accident, just a freak car accident, and it broke my spinal cord, broke my back at the L1 vertebrae, T12 L1 vertebrae. I never would have imagined competing in something like this. You know, whenever I got hurt, this wasn't even around. I mean, there was nothing like this. I mean, there were the Paralympics, but this wasn't around, and so I didn't have that goal set back then. You know, back then it was a lot different whenever I first got hurt. So now to have this and to see all the people that, you know, that I've met come through the system and see the way it changes them and the way it's changed me, it's just an awesome feeling. You know, my recovery started right away. I didn't ever really have a lot of time to think about what happened to me, because as soon as I got hurt, I started playing sports. And sports just give you something to look forward to. I mean, adaptive sports, give you goals to set, and when you set goals, you work towards those goals, and then it just helps the overall recovery process when you have something to do, something to occupy your time, and just something to look forward to. Warrior Games it's given me an outlet, something to look forward to, and to do that and represent the Navy. You know, from the time I was a little kid, I wanted to join the Navy. My granddad was in the Navy, and so I always wanted to be in the Navy. So when I got hurt, you know, there's always that feeling of leaving the Navy. You know, there was always that, you know, a little bit of depression involved with that. And so to represent the Navy again, to have the Navy on your chest, to have, you know, your name on the back of a jersey, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's an amazing feeling.
On January 1st, 2014, in New York City, I was assaulted by 20 to 30 people and pushed off a roof of a 6-story building. I broke both my legs, 3 ribs. I severed my femoral artery, so my patella snapped in half, half went through the skin, the other half severed the femoral artery. I broke my right patella in half and shattered my left ankle. I only survived because I was falling face first, and I hit an ACE unit with the right side of my face and upper body on the 2nd floor, and the momentum turned my legs into the concrete, and then I hit the back of my head. So even with those severe injuries, it almost felt like life was over for me at that point, even though I survived. The DoD Warrior Games, the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, is the only reason why I'm still here. It's the reason why I'm still active duty, why I fully returned to duty. It gave me hope. It gave me drive, determination. It gave me that faith, that belief in myself that I had lost over the years. It's helped me meet so many people that have helped me feel comfortable, helped me feel normal, that everything I was going through was normal. And it's just a blessing, and I couldn't be more thankful for it.
We went out, and I was a Bravo fire team lead at that day, and Ben was up front, I believe. And we went outside the wire, and we were going probably, about 30 minutes into it?
Yeah, it's about a kilometer or 2.
And I was I was the first one to step on a landmine. Didn't really know what happened. I didn't feel nothing, except for dark dirt, bright light, pressure. At that time, I thought I was gonna get up, walk off, and I didn't. And then that two CLS guys came over, started putting tourniquets on, and that's about the time we heard Ben's explosion. Just being in the Warrior Games has kind of been a self-fulfilling moment for me and bringing me back. I first got introduced to it by Ben. As soon as he got me in there, it was just all from there.
Being involved in the Warrior Games program and being able to go to the games, I benefited a lot from it, and I was able to kind of expand my horizons and achieve things that I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do. So when I would talk to Russell, when we talk on the phone or exchange emails, I always talk about the program, and I kind of wanted to come over because I saw him being able to fulfill a role that I was able to fulfill and get to places that I was able to get to, and I wanted him to come with me on that journey. And just like me, when I first got involved in the program, I was a little hesitant, and I didn't want to really jump into it because I didn't know what it was, and the same was the case for Russ. So, when I would reach out, we kind of go back and forth a little bit, and then finally he answered the call, and sure enough, as soon as he got here, first couple steps on the ground, he's off to the races, and now they're doing good things.
I tore both of my Achilles tendons, and then I had to learn how to run again, do everything again. So the first one, which was my left, I tore in 2009, doing sports for the military, Turkey Bowl, and then 2012, training. And military adaptive sports does change your life. It changes your life because it gives you an opportunity to do something that you enjoyed doing before, but because of your physical injuries, you may think you can't do them. And when you come here to the military adaptive sports, you get an opportunity to try it out. You see that, hey, I'm able to do these things, like shooting. I never thought I'd be able to shoot. Dealing with spinal injuries. Seated volleyball. And those are just some things that I tried and I like. But next year, if I get an opportunity to come back, I'm gonna do more than just the 2 sports I've done. The Warrior Games matter because for myself, being injured, it keeps you a part of the family, it keeps you part of the community. And the Warrior Games, you know, I met a lot of people this is my first Warrior Games, and the competition. You know, you feel some type of way sometimes, you know, injuries and you can't do certain things, but you're able to do those things here at the Warrior Games. You're able to train within your limitations, like for example, seated volleyball. I enjoy it. I thought it was easy. Get out there, start playing it, start enjoying it, and I enjoy it. So hopefully I'll be here again next year.
So I broke my back in 2013. It was in the States. I've also lost some of the function in my leg. That injury occurred in 2011, and then the surgeries is what made it so I, you know, kind of lost some of the ability to use it. When I was in the hospital, there was a clinic for wheelchair basketball and seated volleyball, and that was in 2013, and that's kind of when it clicked. I learned that I loved seated volleyball, and I'd never played it before. In basketball, I was still struggling to think that I could enjoy basketball in a different way, because I am passionate about basketball. And I'd say that's the turning point when I realized that I can still make a difference. I can still better myself as a player. I just have to adjust the way I'm playing. I'm extremely excited to be able to go to the Warrior Games. I've been trying since I was still on active duty to be able to go to the Marine Corps trials, which then leads to the Warrior Games. So this year is the first opportunity I've had, and really words can't even express how proud I am to be able to be here. I worked really hard to get here, and all the other Marines have. So I don't even know what to say, because I'm just so happy that I get to, you know, experience the Warrior Games.
It was in 2016 when I went through my second heart surgery, and they discovered that part of my left side of the heart is getting stiff or is dying slowly, and then my aorta is enlarged. So it's at a point right now that, you know, they're like, well, we don't want to do surgery right now because we want to make sure that we need to fix everything. So I guess my option here, I don't know, when they decided would be just to do a heart transplant. He went to a very rough path with, you know, his leadership and whatnot, and he was not able to assist the Air Force trials. They told him, no, you're not going. So when I made the team, the first thing I told my wife is like, you know what, he's coming with me. You know, he's either going to be part of my family sponsor or he's going to be my caregiver, because I know that I can rely on him.
The pride and honor to be here in that moment and present and cheering for my brother with his family, it's amazing. Seeing it from the other side, it's, I'm not gonna say overwhelming, but it's been a very powerful experience, because I get to see how our wives, our caregivers are taken care of on the other side, and the level of commitment and care that the program takes, I will forever be grateful.
Actually, he was bragging when he's not kidding when he's like sending pictures to me about the sandwiches and, hey, I'm on my way with cool Gatorades, you know, to him, but he's like tagging me on the conversation. I think he did pretty good.
For me, Andres is a brother now. And Migdalia too. This guy, he has my heart completely. It's such a blessing, and it was an instant connection. It's like I feel like I know them for my entire life. It's truly a blessing. They're very special people, and for me, it means a lot that they gave us this opportunity. Jose needed greatly, maybe the same as him. So it becomes more powerful when they're both needing the same. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's just a powerful connection.
I really enjoy what I do, but I want to do more. You know, helping these guys come back, find their new normal, you know, help them push through their injuries and their personal demons. And I was like, what can I do more? Well, in my mind, that's get out there and be part of them. You know, to get out there and help prevent them, get out there and help try to fix some of the bureaucracy with these guys finding out about these programs. And the best way I know how to do that is to take a leadership role. So that's when I applied to the United States Coast Guard for an officer candidate position.
Navy team! Navy pride! Navy team! Navy pride! Navy team! Navy pride!
I was actually at Navy Wounded Warrior Trials down in Jacksonville, and I got a call. And I actually had a massive beard on at the time, and I got a call and my recruiter said, hey Andrew, I've got some unfortunate news, which I figured it was coming, that oh, you didn't make it again. But no, she's like, I got some unfortunate news, you're gonna have to shave. And I flipped out.
Probably the best way to describe Andrew, just his commitment to not only the mission that we do at Navy Wounded Warrior Safe Harbor, but to the people that he works with that are enrolled in the program. He's absolutely been a mainstay getting this program on the map. Just incredible how the athletes respond to him and the rest of the team. Just been a leader from day one since he started at Navy Wounded Warrior Safe Harbor.
We're here at the Warrior Games right now. You know, I've got athletes whose hands are torn up. They've played hours and hours of basketball and volleyball, and they're still out there right now killing it. You know, they're giving it their all. And that's not to mention that they just did track the day before, or, you know, shooting and archery is coming up next. These guys are busting their butts. The Warrior Games is extremely important. This is these guys' first opportunity that exists for them to truly compete, and compete in an environment that we provide that is safe, that is within the service, and it's within their battle buddies. You know, there's no other competition like this in the world. No competition is someone going to go swimming, basketball, and archery all in the same day. You know, it doesn't exist. It makes our, you know, logistics challenge impossible, but it is one of the most rewarding events that we can provide for our service members.